Hey guys, welcome back to the layout. It's been a while since I did a video about 3D printing projects around the layout, and the video about 3D printed surfliners ended up being one of my most popular on the channel. Of course, just as I wrapped up the first set of surfliners, ACTON announced them in HO scale. More on that, and new projects on the Workbench, coming up. Back in May, ACTON Trains announced a run of Surfliner cars, essentially putting my plans to make them out of business. I completed a prototype set and also developed a California car set, which has some distinct differences. I went ahead and printed a couple sets of the California cars, since they were not in the ACTON announcement, and I had already taken pre-orders on them. I don't plan to make any more of the California cars as that paint scheme is more difficult, and I believe in a few years ACTON will do the California scheme too. The main difference is the ACTON run is as delivered, and my Surfliner models have all the PTC arrays and some other bits that have been added to the cars over the years. I'm taken to understand a modernized Surfliner will be available from ACTON in the next run, probably a couple of years from now at least. So picking myself back up and dusting off some other projects, I moved on to printing some freeway signs. This will be for the I-5 scene near Oceanside. I also went ahead and designed and printed the Oceanside depot that is on the modern-day Surfline. 3D printing this depot was really the only way to go with all the delicate lattice structure. I also printed part of the Burger King at the depot with an interior and a few of the platform shelters as well. This was the first test of printing a complete structure. It was pretty successful, so I'm adding Lancaster and Palmdale depots to the list of upcoming projects. The fake front buildings at Acton Depot should also be on this list, although all three stations represent a lot of man-hours that'll be needed to develop them. As you probably know, we model Southern California, and Metrolink is our local commuter rail operation, with lines branching out from Los Angeles. We model one of these lines on the layout, the Antelope Valley line to Palmdale and Lancaster. Metrolink runs an eclectic variety of equipment, but most recently retired most of the F59 and PHI locomotives in favor of the EMD F125. The 125 is definitely the decided loser in the battle with Siemens. Why it wasn't more successful in its bid against Siemens is probably the topic for another video. The F125 is used nowhere else in the world, making it unlikely to ever be offered in HO scale. This is my first attempt at a locomotive. The project has been in development for over a year, and I'm getting close to having the first operational sample. I've printed a couple of shells so far, to test paint them, and see what details work and which don't on the model. Getting the shell size right to fit an existing frame has also been a bit of a challenge. The shell was originally designed to fit on an ACTON P42 frame, but for a variety of reasons, I'm now modifying it to fit on an Atlas Alp 45 DP frame. This has the benefit of providing a smooth-running Atlas motor, ESU decoder already installed, and correct Euro-style wheels and similar truck details all ready to go. The Atlas model even has a little cab interior that will fit inside the F125 shell. Using the Atlas chassis increases the cost of the locomotive by about $100, but when you consider that comes with a decoder, it actually works out to be a pretty decent deal. The paint scheme on the 125s is difficult, putting it mildly. I'll continue to test different paint colors and the order of application of the paint to get the best approximation. So far I've found Tamiya masking tapes offer the best chance to get a clean paint line. Metrolink started replacing their cab cars almost a decade ago with more crash-resistant cabs and coaches built by Hyundai Rotem. While rail fans and the traveling public have had a lukewarm reception to these cars, they can be found on every Metrolink train in operation today. So I embarked on building them also, starting with the easier coach. Cab cars will follow and feature the usual Tsunami Sound Car sound decoder and full light package found on the prototype. Once again, Metrolink makes the paint and decal work difficult at best with these cars. The stripes either need to be painted or a decal applied. I'm currently leaning towards the ease of application and crisp edges decal stripes can provide. The cars of course feature full interiors, lights, and figures. One of the most difficult things about the Rotem cars is the disc brakes. I designed a truck that will snap into a regular 36-inch wheel, but also have a roller bearing cap covering the entire wheel face to match the prototype as closely as possible. Once the cars and locomotive have been prototyped and members of our local club have had a chance to purchase them, I'll make these available for Metrolink modelers who want them. If you've seen my earlier videos on prototyping the Viewliner 2 baggage car, then you probably know my baggage car printing days are basically over now that Kato is coming out with an HO scale Viewliner baggage car. I may do a variant of the Viewliner baggage car with a large blank space to do some name train baggage cars just for fun, and it's possible they may find their way onto my Facebook store page or onto eBay. Back before there were Viewliner 2s, I came up with a fantasy idea for an all-viewliner train from New York to Los Angeles that would roughly follow the route of the old National Limited. I kit-bashed a number of Walther's Viewliner 1s for this train. With 3D printing and Viewliner 2s in service, I figured why not actually produce all the cars for the train in Viewliner 2. The next car up was the bag dorm car, of which I have sold a couple on eBay. As of this video, there will be a couple more for sale there or on my Facebook store. I recently sent the remaining cars in the set to the printer and they will be painted and finished in the next couple of weeks. Because of the tedious decal work on many of these cars, they will be limited availability or special order only. One of the coolest cars in the National Limited set is the Viewliner Sightseer Lounge. The windows will really show off the interior of this car, and it's definitely my favorite so far. I'm also looking at doing an observation car for the end of the train. If anyone has any ideas for this car, or other projects, please post them down in the comments. While passenger trains are my primary area of interest, I also picked up some Kato Amtrak auto racks to plan out how to do them in HO. I also want to do Boeing skyboxes to complement a couple of 737 fuselage cars I have, and make a unit train out of them. Finally, there has been talk of replacements for the superliners, and while I don't see that happening, and sadly Amtrak probably moving to a single level fleet, one can always dream. Inspired by the Rocky Mountaineer, a true bi-level train would be an interesting set, so the possibility of designing a whole train set of Superliner 3s might be a fun project for the future. Again, if there's anything cool you'd like to see done in HO, let me know down in the comments below. Until next time, keep it on the rails.
Kevin, what did the Army say at the gas station? We need a full tank.